Lightworkers Unite is a podcast and social show hosted by intuitive women, lightworkers, and most importantly, friends, Mayume and Manjeet. Welcome to our podcast, Lightworkers Unite, where we believe there is a lightworker within all of us.
Whether you are a medium, an educator, or a nuclear medicine technologist, there is a lightworker within you, and we have work to do.
This is a safe and sacred place where lightworkers connect, grow, and learn.
And share our light with the world.
There it goes. I was waiting for her little voice.
Me too. And I'm really glad that it didn't pick up the O-F.
I didn't hear that. I saw it come out of your lips, but I didn't hear it actually.
Thank goodness.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you right now. But how fitting, right? How fitting that would that be to start the podcast like that, like O-F.
Oh,
like
I'm surprised you're not saying it because usually there's no problem saying O-F.
I just didn't want to wake everybody up with that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know. Cause we are podcasting a little earlier than usual too with that.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
With the crazy times.
Crazy times. Here we are kind of jamming. So hi everyone. Hello, Lightworkers.
Hello, sisters and brother.
I know we would just joke about that. I wonder, we should do a poll. How many men listen to Lightworkers Unite?
Yes. Please comment on our Instagram.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that. But yeah, I mean, all the things that we talk about are very translatable to man with spirit and, coachy stuff and all that. So yeah, but the world is on fire.
The world is on fire. So guys, we were talking about this just before we decided to hit record, because that's how we do it. We talk, we connect, and then we're like, why didn't we record this conversation
every time?
And then we're now we got to repeat the conversation, but it must be spirit led. So now we're supposed to talk about it. And so, yeah, I love the way you said that. The world is on fire. And that's exactly how it feels to me too. Right. It feels like it's on fire, and obviously coming off the tails of the LA fires. So we're sending so much love and light and healing for those beautiful families that have suffered and have lost everything, almost everything. And so that was something that we weren't podcasting during that time. But I do know that we want to acknowledge that happened, and it affected thousands and thousands of people, whether you lived there and was directly affected, or you had family that lived there, friends that lived there. I know that Johnny and we spent our 10th anniversary in Malibu at this beautiful condo that is now gone. And Moon Shadows, a famous place there that we had our dinner and frequented, that's gone. And there's sadness about that, the loss and tragedy. So when you said fire, the world is on fire, that I wanted to acknowledge that. So that was part of it. And then all the other stuff that's going on too.
Yes. So I know we have been very busy in our private practices, right? I think talking to people a lot. I wrote this in, we were talking actually about our newsletters and how we don't make our newsletters together, by the way.
Yeah, no, not at all. In fact, we'll get each other's and read them like, oh my gosh, that was so good. Yeah. We have no idea what we're saying. Yeah.
And they're obviously from, different perspectives, but I'm always really astounded by it doesn't happen all the time, but of course there are certain times when the universe, we're kind of picking up right on the universal consciousness. And so it's really beautiful, I think, to hear other people's perspectives on how we're basically translating what the universe is going through, right? Through our own lens. And so for you as this beautiful, angelic practitioner, medium, powerful, creative woman, this is the lens, in your newsletter, this is how it comes out, right? And I just think that's so beautiful. So if you haven't signed up for her newsletter, you need to, and mine as well. But yeah, we talk a lot about, we talk a lot, selfish plug, but I know we both really do put a lot of heart into our words. That's something we take very seriously. So The newsletters, I just, they're a big part of like my process, what I'm going through during that time, just like you. Um, and so I love that, both of our newsletters for February were very much in sync around how we are feeling that the collective is crying. I feel that so, so palpably, if that's a word.
Yeah, yes,
Palpably.
palpably. Yes, that it should be a word. I
Should
understand it. It's
be,
hard to say, but yes, it should be palpably. Yes.
you know, you
But yeah,
know,
did you say crying? Is that what you said? I
I
was trying.
did.
Yes.
I
Okay. Yeah.
did. It felt that way.
Yeah, crying. But there's, yes, uh, helplessness,
Mm,
anger, rage, right? When you said the world is on fire, I also sense
yes.
rage, outburst, um,
Yeah.
shock. It's shocking, shocking to the
Amen.
point where then all of a sudden you feel so helpless that you're like, you want to cry about what is happening in this world and in our country specifically. And Manjeet and I have talked about this many times of how we don't bring politics to Lightworkers Unite. It's not a place for it. But politics
Yeah.
is part of life. It's happening in front of our faces right now. All of us, everyone who's listening to this is fully aware if you live in the US of what is happening. If you don't live in the US, you are fully aware of what is
Absolutely.
happening in the US. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
And it's hard to ignore. And there is a spiritual imbalance going on as well. And that's kind of what I feel is the imbalance and the need for us to stay positive in a very negative world space right now. Not everything that you do, and depending on your particular home, I'm sure you're creating a beautiful space at home, loving, nurturing. It's safe. You're supported there with your people. And again, if you're listening to this, we're not trying to. This isn't about divide. We're not pinpointing one side, the other side. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with souls, the beautiful people and who you are, light worker, um in this divide and in this upheaval, in this fire of massive, I feel it's negativity, toxicity, toxicity. How do I say it? Toxicity,
Toxicity. Yes. Yes.
toxicity. Thank you.
Toxicity. Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
So that's the energy that is out there, and it will push people, myself. I can get down into a very low frequency, a low vibe of muck and sorrow, crying, anger, frustration, annoyance, all of this. And I don't want to sit there very long because it doesn't do me any good. It's good to feel it. And I want to talk to you about that, and have my beautiful intuitive life coach help coach us all about why it is good to kind of feel it. And I think I agree that we have to. It's all the emotions that our soul goes through. But if we want to make change too, we can't sit there too long because then we are operating, then we're all in that space. And the universe really needs us. We need people to stand strong. We need people to find your inner peace. And how can you make change if you're going to make change from a higher frequency, a higher vibration, where abundance lies, where freedom lies? This is where that energy lies, is with the angels, is with our loved ones who are looking down upon us right now. When I talk to my dad, and it's like shaking their head, going, "Come on, wake up, wake up." But we can't wake up if we are lingering too long in sorrow, or I'm going to say rage, because I'm one of
Yeah.
those. I felt rage,
Yeah.
Manjeet,
You go to
rage.
rage. I went to crying. Isn't that
Yes,
funny? Right. This
that's,
is who
well,
we are.
fire,
Fire,
water.
water. Yeah. But I love that, right? Because this is what we're seeing a plethora of emotion right now. With all of our viewers and people that we interact with, we're either, and one day I'll be really, really mad, right? And then the other day I feel
Yes,
absolutely heartbroken and unbelievably feeling diminished and unseen in the world, especially as a brown woman, right? Like we don't, like, it feels really scary and really hard, right? And I just want to, I think that's what Mayume and I really want to acknowledge here today is that in how do we find balance in the chaos, right? How do we, and that's actually the name of the newsletter. I just realized my newsletter is for February, is the
Oh,
finding balance
yes.
within chaos, but it's really finding like, how do I really understand what's going on? Now, I think a lot of people, especially in our political climate, right? With Mother Nature, there's a lot of things that we can do to support funding, volunteering, food banks, right? Like the people that were suffering in the fires, those kinds of things. I feel like we have a lot of, like we have a little more resources to feel empowered. I mean, even though it's not a lot because you're not, saving lives, right? But peripherally, at least there are organizations like the Red Cross and FEMA and places that are really kind of helping that you can
Hmm.
organize and rally with. Um, but and that doesn't mean you're still going to feel helpless, right? I mean, that doesn't necessarily always go away, but that feeling of trying to
Yes.
help is powerful. And
Very
as a coach,
powerful.
that is a really important mechanism is to feel like you're doing something,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I
Yes.
think what I'm really experiencing in my business with as a coach is people are feeling very helpless politically right now. You know,
Hmm.
I'm just going to say it right straight up,
Hmm.
right? This is how there are some places where we can rally and sign letters and do all the things, but there's just this really overwhelming feeling of feeling helpless. Yeah.
Hmm.
In that realm, which is kind of consuming a lot of the chaos and misinformation. And just
So,
even the
mhm.
funneling of information is just, it's chaotic and strange
it,
and
it
weird.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And cited. And I mean, it's hard to get, it's hard to get true journalism, true information that is not biased.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard today. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think that that's one of the things that I'm really a big fan of course, is we are allowed to feel fucking angry. We're allowed to feel hurt. We're allowed to feel disenfranchised. We're allowed to feel helpless and hopeless
Hmm.
at the same time, and I just, if you need permission to be there, please know that we're giving you permission to be there. Okay. Sometimes we need to hear
Yes.
that. I don't know
Yes.
why, but it's right.
Of
Right.
course. I agree. Especially. So getting back to fire and water, right? Which is
Yes.
great balance. I find it interesting that I go to rage, right? I have fire. I go to anger, frustration, annoyance of what is happening, and therefore my balance is to go within, right?
Mhm.
Say I can't be in anger because it's not helpful for me. I'm trying to find peace within myself so that I can operate, so that I can take care of my family, so that I can work, so I can take care of the souls, and I'm
Yeah.
talking to souls every day who aren't, wearing a red or a blue hat, right? I mean, let's just be honest. So
Mhm.
there's a different perspective, but so what I find interesting is that my fiery rage, I have to go in for balance, calm my heart, get in a positive, feel good space so that I can operate and move forward. And
Mhm.
you, Miss Water, here is saying, feel the feels, go out there, you know, I'm giving you permission to have rage. And I kind of think this is so interesting and so cool because that's how it's supposed to be to bring in balance. If for someone who is feeling sorrowful, you need to kind of go there into that feeling of movement of let's do something. I need to feel this, right? It's bringing the balance of someone who is, um, you said the word crying, and I thought when crying is that deep sorrow of helplessness of I'm sitting here doing nothing, not doing nothing, but don't know what to do, feeling like I can't do anything, and I'm so upset about it. I'm so upset
Yeah.
about it, right? And so your balance is to, okay, do something about it. Get up, feel all the feels. It's okay to have rage. So I feel like it's interesting the what I normally go to in order to find my balance is to go inward and find peace and solace and get quiet from our age. And you are saying, hey, everyone, right? Get up and feel it.
Yeah.
And here are
And I
some
feel like
things.
that's a
Love it.
very internal process as well, though, right? I feel like
Exactly.
when I'm
That's what I
saying
love.
feel the feels, it's not like you're declaring it to the world, right?
No,
You're
yeah.
still very internally saying, holy shit. I think the only distinction is understanding that I am having that awareness that I am feeling this way. And
Yes.
write it on paper, talk about it with your girlfriend, call your coach, call your therapist, talk to your doctor, right? Like just get your head around the fact that it's okay to say to the world, I am mad. And I feel that like this universal energetic like pull of releasing suppressed anger.
Yeah.
And for somebody like me who, is pretty level, it's the water in me, that's
Yeah.
kind of a scary concept, right? Like to say like owning your anger, right?
Hmm.
Owning
Hmm.
those emotions. And I know as women, we aren't taught to understand anger, never mind feel it and really acknowledge it. We don't know how to decipher it. We don't know how to funnel it. Anger is a very, but women are mad right now.
Yeah.
Like we're really fucking
Yes.
mad. And it's a palpable feeling that I think that we are stronger and we're able to transmute these emotions, I think,
Yeah.
more powerfully when we talk about them and when we're in safe places to express that.
I agree,
Yeah,
sister. We have
yeah,
to. And I know that you and I have had conversations. I know you're a safe place to talk about it.
yes,
And
I am.
yes, you are. And this is a safe place to talk about
Yes,
everything.
all
But
the things.
yes, all the things. I think it's so important. There was a time where I needed to, like it was bubbling inside me. And
Yes.
I was like, I have to talk about this. I have to talk
Yeah.
about. So I thank you so much for this, and thank you for giving women and the fellow that is reading newsletters and watching or listening to our podcast, but giving us permission to be angry, to cry it out, to feel the emotions of what is happening, and whatever and wherever you are, light worker, in this space and what is happening, wherever you are and wherever you lie. I mean, maybe you are not feeling the energy of the world and the chaos and the anger that is being um, felt,
Dumped. Yeah.
dumped. Yes, thank you. Yes, dumped. But
In the
either
universe. Yeah.
way, just for women in general, and I know we are a huge supporter of sisterhood and women, and
Yes.
being, an Asian American, and you being, like you always say, a little brown girl, a beautiful brown girl. I'm yellow.
No.
I'm yellow. I'm just yellow. But it is hard in raising three daughters. You're raising two, so five girls between the
Yeah.
two of us, young women who are entering this world with this fucking uncertainty and scary
Yeah.
shit about our rights to have a voice, our rights for our body.
Yeah.
And it's, and I'm trying to navigate that as a mother, right?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
there's a lot of
Absolutely.
emotions behind how I'm feeling that they're probably feeling, because they're looking at me going, what do we do, mom?
Yeah.
What,
Absolutely.
what does this mean, mom? They're not really, I'm going to say this, they're not looking at dad.
No.
I married a white man. And so,
Yeah. Me too. Yes.
and there's a little underlying anger, like, what do you think about this, dad? It's very interesting, the conversations in the home and making sure
Yeah.
that we're feeling safe and supported. So, I want to acknowledge this. I think it's important that our listeners know not necessarily like where we stand, but what the offerings, that we are aware of what's going on. It's
Yeah.
hard to ignore. It has to be acknowledged. And no matter where you are, light worker, again, I feel like stripping away, we're stripping away a lot of this, the costume that we wear in this life. And so if we can get to the soul, and that's how I like to operate. And that's in my meditations, that is all I hear from my guides. My dad has been showing up a lot, and also Archangel Michael and his words that have been ringing true. And I've shared it with my clients and I've shared it with my daughters and my husband. The truth will be revealed. One day the truth will be revealed and everything's going to be okay, no matter what. And me sitting in that energy of knowing that, not because I hear it, but because I genuinely know for a fact, even in death, even if I leave this vessel, leave this life as Mayume, everything's going to be okay. I'm going
I
to
love
be
that.
okay. I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
My dad's
Yeah.
okay. And my dad suffered
Yeah.
greatly. And guess
Oh,
what? He's here playing jokes on me, laughing and telling me it's going to be okay. Daughtry, that's what he used to call me. Hey, Daughtry. I'll just hear it like, hey,
oh,
Daughtry. So
oh, I love
breathe,
that.
breathe. Everything's going to
Yeah.
be okay. And so
Oh,
I
I love
need to
that.
hear that because I need some water poured on my fire. Right.
That's so yeah, I got you, girl. I got you, girl.
Thank
And
you.
I
So
think
thank
that's a
you.
really interesting thing, right? Is if you are one of these people, which I feel like a lot of our people are really in this flux, this feeling of helplessness and stress and anxiety, chaos, right? And
Chaos.
feeling really helpless about what to do. Number one, the thing that keeps coming up here today, just as we're speaking, is identify, what your natural reactions are. Like for you, May you're fire. You're going to be angry. You're going to be upset. For me, it's I get quiet and then I fucking retreat. And then I'm like, I gotta process some shit. Like,
Yeah.
leave me alone, right? Now, if you are in one of those patterns right now in your life, um, maybe just ask yourself, what would it look like for you to embrace the opposite emotion right now? So if you are like myself who likes to retreat, what would it look like for you to be angry? Like, what does that look like for somebody like you in this moment? And just kind of, you know, just get your arms around that. Like, for me, that's a very tough one, but for me, getting angry means writing a fucking letter to,
That's
somebody,
right.
in government. It means
Yeah.
getting angry for me is very, very distinct action. But that's me, right? So I think that's what is a really interesting way to kind of look at these things. And it might be one of those ways, Mayim, it's like you started with the podcast saying, we can't sit in this place forever because it will only lower our vibration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about feeling the feels. We must feel that to understand it and identify it and
Yeah.
explore the range of emotion that is available to you, right? So, like for you, you're saying, I love the water. Like, thank you for dousing me. And maybe taking some time to think about what does it mean to go with the flow right now? What would it
Mm-hmm.
mean to go inward and be quiet, quiet, quiet? To really embrace being around water. Like, how
Yeah.
does that how does that play? You're doing it instinctively, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've just been thinking a lot about trying new things because at the end of the day, as your coach, your life coach, we cannot control the things around us. We can help. We can try to do things and advocate for yourself and get on boards and do all that. And absolutely, we must do that now more than ever. We need to be aware and constantly informed, right? And that is a really powerful action in itself, right? But I think also, you know, it's important to know we are the only ones that can control the way we react to the things around us.
That's right.
And so that's where this chaotic time, this is the magical piece is how do I want to move through this chaos in a way that I feel grounded, powerful, receptive, in alignment with my values, right? And
Yeah.
also in community with the like minded people that are going to support me.
That's right.
And that kind of brings us to sisterhood, doesn't it?
It
Like
does.
we talk so much about our feelings, Mayum, and I'm always so grateful for that I have this very powerful sisterhood that I can vent and I can say some really inappropriate shit with you. And I love that because you're not going to judge me. You're not going
That's
to make
right.
fun of me. You might laugh at me, which is totally fine.
Which is great. Yeah.
That's
Same
so
sister, same.
during this really like walking through this really chaotic time right now, I think finding your sisterhood,
Mhm.
even if it's just one fucking person that you can say, I need someone to pour my heart and soul out, and I need that person to not judge me, and to just hold space for me, you know.
Did you say not touch me?
No. To hold space for me.
No, what'd you say before that?
Oh, I don't even know what I said. To
I
talk
thought you
to
said
me?
not touch me,
Oh, not judge me.
not judge me.
Judge me. And I mean, you can touch me. I'm good.
I'm dying right now because I swear I'm looking right. I was like watching every word, listening to everything, and I swear I heard I need someone to not touch me and to hold space. And then I was like, did she just say not touch me? So I was like,
Not judge me.
not
Yes.
judge
But
me.
but you know what? If you don't want no one to touch you
That's right.
either, that's okay too. You ask for
That's
what
what I
you
was
need. Okay. You do that.
thinking. Well, that
Love
would kind
it.
of make sense. Like sometimes, like, listen, just hear me out. Please don't touch me right now
Don't
because
touch
this
me.
ain't turned into a session. This isn't about that.
No,
Right. I just need you to listen.
Johnny. Don't fix me and don't touch me.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, we're just
Sorry,
we
I
took
swear to
a
God, that's what I heard. That's why I was like, did she just say that? I'd love to play this back to see if everyone else heard that too. That was
I
awesome.
know,
Anyway,
I know.
but
See, I love our sisterhood. It's so great because it's so important to be able to talk about these really challenging times, right? And
mhm,
this isn't the first time this is going to happen either, right? We are always going to be walking through chaos at any given point in our life, whether it's political, environmental, emotional, family,
mhm.
relationships, fucking you name it, right?
Yeah,
So these skills that you're learning right now are fundamentals for survival in chaotic times. That's
yeah.
the the,
It
the truth.
it is kind of, I mean, the synchronicities between our two newsletters. I mean, the word chaos came up several times in my newsletter, and
Oh,
I know that yours is coming out. I can't wait to read it. So again, a little plug for Manjeet too. So you should just be doing all our things if you don't already receive our newsletters. Okay. So, and Manjeet's newsletters are so powerful and so full of really pertinent, great information. But I am realizing that we use the word chaos in
oh
both of our
wow.
newsletters this month. Isn't that interesting?
So
I mean, that
yeah.
is what is flying around in this world right now is chaos and on so many levels.
Well, and
And
we're intuitives,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
this is the thing. And I think it with the fact that you're calling it out and putting it on paper to your people, and
mhm,
I'm hearing it, receiving it, and trusting that this is what people need to hear.
yeah,
I think that is a real testament, right, to us really trusting in our sisterhoods and and the universe, right?
yes,
That's a really important thing. I mean, we it is a consciousness right now. Like this February is all about big change. It's about transmuting energy, transmuting, actually, specifically, I feel transmuting anger into something powerful and beautiful for yourself, right? Transmuting isolation into something powerful for yourself.
yeah.
All of these things that we're doing, sometimes they serve us and sometimes they don't. And only you know what you need.
That's right. That's right. So honoring your go within, find out if this podcast is triggering some things, and maybe it is a case where you need to find out, are you fire, are you water, are you earth, are
Eh,
you air, right?
yes.
So maybe finding out how do I respond, how do I feel, and go within.
Yeah.
And I want to stress this too. I feel that everyone needs this too. No matter what, we need to find peace, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we all want and desire in this world is peace,
Yeah.
peace and love and joy and happiness. So you can go within to get that peace. If you can't
Where
get
are
it
the
outside,
pockets? Yeah.
yeah,
Where are the
right,
pockets of peace that you can fall into during this crazy time? Because it's
yeah,
okay to have both, right? It's okay to
yeah,
still be very angry. Like I'm still really fucking mad about stuff, right? But I also know that there's an and here, and an
Yes.
and available to me, that I can still be really angry about this, but also go, okay, I'm going to stop and breathe. And I'm going to really just hone in on these 5 minutes of sacred time where I'm going to say, fuck all of you all the way off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
all the way.
all the way, not just all
Yeah.
the way
I
over
love
there,
that.
so that I can just, and I think for me, I find like, I actually did this the other day. I was actually scanning a patient, and he was really horrible, very ornery. And spent like 45 minutes basically yelling at me because he was in pain and he was upset and all the things. But I was really struggling to get this image of this man's heart. It was really, really, well, probably one of the top 15 hardest scans I've ever done in my career. And
Mm.
he is just yelling at me, you know. And so I'm trying to do it right, and I'm trying to be technical. And I just was like, in that chaos, in that stress, in that horrible, like, I am basically the receiver of every bad emotion that he is ever feeling right now. And I
Mm-hmm.
just thought, I just felt, I just do this thing where I feel like I breathe and I create this little vortex in my chest. And I just kind of breathe in all of that negative energy. And then I just kind of turn and turn and turn it in my little chest. And then I breathe it out.
Yep.
And it's one of the things that I do. And I talk about this with my Boundaries for the Empath series that I'm doing right now. So it's really top of mind. But it's one of those ways that you can instantaneously transmute
Yeah.
energy that you don't want.
Yeah.
So I also do this when I watch the news.
The news.
So there's that too.
Yes, there's that. I
Lots
mean,
of fun things that,
yeah,
lots of different techniques and stuff that I
tools
think
and
are,
things, coping mechanisms to help you. Yeah, to
yeah,
transmute. And that is the word, because energy is energy. It doesn't die, it doesn't go
yeah,
away, but it can transform into different means. And so transmuting it, getting it to change into, and I need it to, I need it to leave my body before I do a
yes,
reading. I am not, I
yes.
can't sit and read all these news articles and then jump into a reading and be like,
No,
hey,
no, no,
hi.
no.
No, I have to clear myself. I have to sit. I got to get neutral. I got to get up in the clouds, all happy,
Yeah.
I'm like, so I could talk to these beautiful souls. But it's very interesting. All I keep hearing, and I know that Suzanne Giesman also, who's a mystic medium and author who's awesome, talks about stripping the costume that we wear
Yes,
in this life. And so
absolutely.
um, all
Hmm.
this that's going on in the world, everyone's got a costume, everyone's got a role to play. You might question the universe and those in the divine, saying, what is happening? What is going on? Why is this happening? There's a lot of questions. Why? And who knows? But I understand that sometimes people have a different lens on. They're seeing things differently than I do. And I
Yeah.
have to honor that we are going through this. I just can only control myself. I can't control
Yes.
anything else. I have to control myself and the energy I bring to the room, how I feel internally, how I show up. And I believe very strongly that the more we are in high vibrational frequency, the more that we are tapped in and in touch with the frequency of angels, of our departed, of ascended masters, of God, of the universe, of guidance. And that is where I can receive love, receive support, receive information that will bring me to peace, knowing
Yeah.
that everything's going to be okay. And the longer I linger, I always say linger because I there's lingering and then there's getting stuck, stuck in the muck. There's times in my
Yeah.
life, and we all know in my history, my journey, I've been stuck in the muck. And now I can linger in it and be mad and feel all the feels, and because I have to process and transmute that energy. But then I'm going to rise above all the fucking bullshit. See, I'm getting mad. I'm going to rise above
I can feel
all
you
of
getting riled
this.
up there. I love it.
Need to rise above, strip my costume, be a
Yes.
pure soul, and be there to look down and say, oh, look at all these beautiful souls and all the confusion and chaos that they're in right now. And
I
God bless
know.
them. And everything's going to be okay. I just, that is my go-to. I'm not saying that everyone has to do this, but that is what I have to sit in. I have
Yeah.
to rise above and be in peace in my heart so that I can operate and so that I can spread more positivity and optimism and say, hey, we need to operate. Doesn't mean we don't do anything. We
Yeah.
could, but we're going to operate from a higher frequency. We're not going to operate from that fucking low frequency that everyone else is in.
Yeah.
That's where what they're doing. So we need to rise above it. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
but
I
find
think
that sisterhood. Find a
exactly.
Manjeet that you
Oh,
can talk to,
and a
that you
Mayume.
can, that we can share and have a safe, supported, don't judge me, don't touch me kind of space.
I know. Well, I think, that is one of the highest ways, right? One of the biggest and brightest and best ways for me. And I think for you, we've talked about this and many times in the episodes in our podcast, we have a sisterhood episode, which I love to this day. I still sometimes will just listen to us prattling on about that when I'm in the mood for some high vibe, fun sisterhood and kind of remind myself why that's important. But that's what I think is really going to serve us, especially right now. Women helping women, women
Yes.
supporting women, go buy women fucking products,
Yes.
buy all these beautiful women that are running their own businesses and support the shit out of them, because I'm going to tell you
That's right.
something. They're hurting right now. We
Yes.
need you, and we we want to
Yes.
feel that, that sisterhood and that love and support, whatever that looks like. Yeah.
That's right. Women supporting women. And if you have daughters, come on, come on. You
Yes.
got to raise these strong women to
Yes.
understand what's going on in this chaotic space right now. And where do you stand, and if stand in support of one another.
Yeah.
Okay. No matter your belief system, I'm just saying stand in support of women.
Of your mother's and your mother's mother and your
Yes.
mother's mother's mother, right? Like that
Yes.
shit is really, I feel that beautiful ancestral line. Sometimes when I feel really deflated about some of the stuff that's happening, the atrocities that are happening with women and women's rights right now, I call on them. I call on those beautiful ancestors, and I call on my mother's 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 mother, who I've never met before. But I just know, like, you help me,
Yes.
right?
Help.
Bring it
Yes.
on, because they've seen it all. They've been through this. So
Yep. Yep.
I think it's just really interesting. I know we're going to wrap up here, but we've been talking a lot about the elements tonight. Did
I
you really?
know.
And I just wonder if maybe that is just like a subconscious thing we're doing, because our next retreat that we're going to be hosting,
Mm-hmm.
right, is going
Yeah.
to be about most likely the elements and how
That's
we
right.
can call upon wind energy and Gaia and water and fire to transmute those feelings and bring that power into your back pocket. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was very interesting that we're already kind of envisioning. We have our obviously our, if you
Yes.
don't know, our Lightworkers Unite very first retreat that's happening March 29th to the 30th at Themiamu Blaine.
8th, 29th,
20,
50.
sorry, I don't
Yeah,
even know.
no.
I'm just gonna
Yes,
fucking
no,
be
no.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes. But it's and we've got 4 seats left, correct? We only have 4 tickets left for
You
that.
guys, there's only 4 seats left. So
I know.
if you were even contemplating, you better hurry up.
Do it, because it's going to sell out. But it's just so interesting that we're speaking about elements, and I think this is really just affirming for me, because we're talking about sisterhood and retreating, and finding our people. If that also resonates with you, just stay tuned, because we are really, really interested and committed to helping, our beautiful sovereign women connect with the elements in a way that really serves us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming. I just wanted to throw that out there and kind of,
Yeah.
right.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's why we're here. We hope that you guys want to join us, and we want to help you. This is why we did this podcast, because when we have kind of cool conversations about all kinds of stuff,
We think they are.
from
Yes.
from fundamentals to woo woo, stuff. I mean, we can
Yeah.
get really woo woo. But we really wanted to bring about more light workers. The world needs light workers right now. Light workers, light warriors, light masters, light mystics.
Seekers. Yeah. Well, and you already are. Okay. If you're listening to this podcast, number one, you already are a light worker. Okay.
Yes.
You just might not know it or want or claim it. Right.
Right.
And so that's what this is about. It's about you claiming the light worker within you. It's about you saying, fuck yeah, that is me. I am a beautiful light worker doing powerful and beautiful things in the world. I own my light worker self.
Yeah.
So if anything else today, you take that, you claim it, you bring it right into your heart and say, yeah, I am somebody important. I am somebody special, and I fucking shine my light. I am a beacon of light and love for everyone around me.
That's right.
Own it. That's you. Listener, right now, who's listening. That's you.
That is you. And that's who we are talking to. That's why this is why it's Lightworkers Unite. We need you. And I'm sorry, the way to shine your light is to get into high vibrational frequency. Feel supported, feel good, feel joy, get into laughter, get in gratitude, get into that space so that you can shine that light. It's hard to shine it when you're down in the muck, right? So linger, dance a little bit down there, and then get the fuck out of there. Okay. And come back up so we can actually do shit.
Yeah, let's
go. So we can actually do something. Yeah, let's go.
Do it. Let's go.
Do it.
Where are we going?
I'll be there.
I'll be there. I'm going. Well, I love you. Oh, last little quick thing. Mystical Night In.
Mystical Night In, you guys.
Yes, a kindred healing space. I was just like, why am I feeling like there's something I'm missing?
Yes, we got to bring this up.
Right? Okay. So it is February 22nd, 4 to 8 p.m. I have no idea what the sales are like, but I have a feeling that we do have some spots. It's $77 will get you in. And you'll sign up for a reading with Mayume and I as co-mediums. Now, these spirit readings are off the charts. It's everything from departed loved ones,
spirit guides.
Oh my gosh, goddesses, past lives. We've had
ascended masters.
Show up. Holy shit. We don't know.
Yeah. Your fur baby in spirit might show up, across that little rainbow 100%. Bridge and come on over. So yes, I was just confirming the time, 4 to 8. Yes.
4 to 8. You can find it on kindredhealingspace.com. And there'll be a link. It's called A Mystical Night In, February 22nd. So once you get your ticket, you'll also have access to a bunch of shopping. So there'll be a ton of beautiful, amazing local artists that are selling their shit. So it's another powerful way for you to support other women.
Yeah. Okay. And you might get a reading, not just from us, but there's tarot card readings available. There's flash tattoos. I don't know. That just sounds like so fun.
Do it. And apparently you're doing them on the website. Mayume. Flash tattoos. She's not doing those. She's with me.
It's on the website too? No.
Yes.
Oh, I will tell her about that. I thought that was just in the email.
That. I'm like, oh my God. She's not the tattoo artist, by the way. She is with me doing the reading. She's gonna be busy. Okay.
Oh my gosh. And it's so much laughter, so much fun. If you need to get in that high vibe and be in sisterhood and feel support, you just come join us.
We're going to set the intention for transmuting, right? Because I feel like, there's still, it's heavy. February feels heavy with a lot of chaotic energy. So our mission in this one is healing, laughter, but right? Don't you feel? It's like, we're going to transmute shit and fucking throw it out.
That's right. Okay. Come join us. We would love to see you in person. Let's do it, everyone. Yay. Love you, Lightworkers. Love you, Manj.
Yes, I love you too.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks so much for holding space for me and my fiery rage. And thank you for bringing balance as you do. Infinite balance. I love it.
Thank you. I love you all. Namaste, my sisters and brother.
Bye.